Friends, good evening. Today is the 26th March and Sunday, and I'm just back from finishing the workshop today. We had the care workshop number 3, and it actually started very early because we have been planning last couple of days to get the medical tests done, which is part of our discussion about the physical well-being, mental well-being, and relational well-being. These are the 3 things, continuing things that we have been following. Um, Ruth took the initiative, and then she organized um, a lab technician, and then the lab technician came early, and Ruth also came very early at 8 o'clock. And then we have managed to get about 6 participants with medical tests. The samples were taken, and then 4 more came, 5 more came later, but then since they had already had their breakfast, so we couldn't do it. So tomorrow morning, early morning, the lab technician will go to Sarath, where many of them stay, and then he will complete all the tests. So in which case, all the 12 people plus 2 coordinators, all of us have done the tests. Okay. Moeed and myself also did the tests, so that it doesn't appear that the tests are only for them. Even all of us need care. Yeah, so that was that, and then we got some breakfast, and then after breakfast, we all started the workshop. As I said in my initial preparatory note that I sent all of you, this time I thought that we should let them speak out and let them come out with the agenda, let them talk about what they understand as self-care, and rather than us imposing what we think is useful to them. I see a certain methodological and philosophical problem there, and it's important to get the agenda from the participants. Now that the trust issue is now the trust issue is now settled temporarily, at least, that they do trust us, and they feel that they share what the issues are. So these medical tests, it is not right on our part to help us feeling a little where they're suspecting, but then the point is they are not suspecting. It's only a question of communication. I think oftentimes online communications are not perfect ways of communication, because not everybody can bring their normal communication and online communication the same. Online, we should not judge people based on their online behavior. For a variety of reasons, people don't express online, but when you meet them face to face, they do express what actually they feel. That was a lesson. There's no problem about medical tests, and it's absolutely very generous of Anveshi to accept and fund this initiative. Ruth is taking the responsibility to do one-to-one counseling to all of them. Initially, we thought of a Zoom call, but then I felt that about your body, it's something that it's very personal, and you should directly one-to-one talk to the doctor. I asked Ruth if she needs another doctor who can help her, and she said she remembers. That's not a problem. Well, that's one thing. Then, as I said, we started off well with questions. I gave them a few questions and to have a um, uh, individual session of writing. I was asked them to reflect on their own what they understand by self-care and um, uh, what what are their needs, their own self-care needs, their individual self-care needs, and then what are the obstacles that will not allow them to fulfill those needs, and then what is it that they expect from the community or expect from the family or people who are the kind of they are related to. And finally, I also asked them, what is it that you want the care workshops to do? Why don't you set the agenda for the care workshops rather than we sitting and doing the agenda and what is needed? So as part of this, one of them asked me in the tea time, gave me tea time that, but then if you, how are you documenting this? And well, this is the document. Whatever I send you and whatever I send, and you see the video reports are the documents. And but then what do you send to your the funders? Because the funders we only send a report at the end, so there's nothing being done now. In the workshops in order to please the funder or in order to satisfy the funder requirements or demands, which actually, in a sense, gives a lot of freedom to us to really go by the pulse of the people, go by what is required, and rather than get pushed by either a research agenda or any other agenda that the donors are asking. So I really thank Anveshi, and also I'm feeling happy about the model that we are following of having the freedom to make it participant oriented. Okay, I will take a brief pause here, a washroom pause, and then I will come back to you to continue part 2 of this report. Yeah, I'm back. So this was an exercise I gave them individually to reflect on what self-care means and what is it that what are the practices that they need individually and what obstacles they face and what is it that this care workshops should be doing and what is it that we should get out of all this by the end of the 12 workshops. This is the third workshop and we have another 9 workshops. So at the end of it, what is it that we should aim for? And we shouldn't expect people to come prepared for a planning session. So I just took whatever came and a lot of very insightful, very important suggestions came about what we should be doing. But I'm glad that we really the workshops actually could communicate that this is something about their self-care and this is about from their well-being, and we are trying our best to ensure that well-being participative in a participative way rather than just getting the experts from somewhere and giving advice to them. Yeah, I think we went through all that, and then we opened up for presentations and discussions and all that. And then we took a lunch break, and then there were some more presentations after lunch break, and which we managed to do. But before that, I must also share that the first section was about meditation. We discussed a lot, and I asked them to share their experiences, and they shared their experiences, um, and who was following it, and who was doing it, and what obstacles they would face in order to do this meditation. And number one, I think they really value this technique with input and this constantly going back to them about meditation, persuading them to do their meditation at least once a day. But they have some have managed and some have not been able to manage and all that. But that doesn't matter. The point is that one is actually going on talking about the usefulness of it and all that. Yeah. So and then we practiced. We had a practice session, and then after that we had one more reflection session on what happens in the process of meditation and why we should continue and persist and all that. So that was the first session. Actually, we spent about an hour doing that, and then we had this moving of the self-care and this whole questions about what we should be doing and what they should be doing and what should be their plan and all. Then post lunch we went in. We did two more sessions. One session was about I laid out on the board the pain points that that came out as part of what they presented in their reflection session. We could identify, maybe there are more, but we could identify 5 important pain points that cover about 80 to 90% of their everyday life. The first is the family, the whole relationship they have with the family, the whole dynamics, and then coming out, not to be able to come out. And the two extremes of the spectrum are, one is that you completely don't come out at all and feel suicidal and live a life which parents thrust upon you, whatever is one extreme. The other extreme is getting out of home and cutting off all ties with the family, village, and kinship networks and all that. Between these two extremes, there's a whole spectrum of positions, situations. I think most of people fall in between. And the struggle is about being with the family and not being with the family, because not to get subsumed by the meanings of the family, meanings the family attaches, and then the rejection of the family of their identity, their gender identity. And on the other hand, living a life of their choice and a partner of their choice and all those dynamics of their life. I mean, one extreme example is that one of the participants said that he keeps 2 rooms in the city. One room is meant for the parents to come and see at least doing his BIC and his books and his laptop there, and then there's another room where he lives, where he has his partner and his all other activities that he of his normal everyday life. So this whole dual life that we are forced to live, that the compartmentalization of what is acceptable to the parents and what I think a very graphic image of one such thing is that some of them are allowed, mothers want to see them, so they go in the night and meet mother and then cry and then come back. stay overnight and early morning, 4 o'clock, they get up and come back. So this whole one part of the secret life, lack of acceptance. So the 5 points are, let me just lay out the 5 points. The first is the whole knot, the whole basket of issues of hurts and the pain that is related to parents and siblings and relatives and all that. And then the second is related to their livelihood and financially, so they can come out of their home and they have to find their own ways. And the most obvious occupations are begging or arms seeking and sex work, which are like the very clear pathways leading to that. But then some of them don't want to do that, so they move into studies and how and where and what. And it's a very complex think about finances to sustain yourself, and then their livelihood, their education, their job and employment. This is a whole basket of worries that they have. A third one is about the partners they have. They have relationships and then partners, and then even that is quite complex. And some of their partners or most of their partners are also transgender persons, and are also from other cis people. I'm still learning that language. So there's a whole the complexity about those relationships where they seek their own safe space, or their own fulfillment of their own relational need and desire. And then there are two more major areas. The fourth is the health, the whole question of health. Under health, I would say there are two categories of issues that we face. One is that the whole general health issues that everybody has, vitamin deficiency or anemia or not able to sleep, or and what do we call it, insomnia or fatigue. This whole set of issues are there. Then the other set of issues, and which are very specific to transgender people, are those people who are in transition, either having done the surgery or about to get the surgery done. When do I go and get the surgery? And then these hormonal injections that they take, which actually create a whole lot of storm in the body. It kind of regenerates a new kind of puberty, and then the whole hormones, the havoc that they cause. So there are a whole set of issues related to health related body physiological issues, pains and all that, problems and medication and all that during this whole transition phase. So that's the fourth one. And let me just look at the fifth issue is it's the society. Fifth issue is the outside society, outside the family. There's a rejection in the family. But also, when you are walking on the street, or when you are in the workplace, or when you are just confronting the world, the way it can ridicule you, it can stigmatize you, it can call you names, and it can be so aggressive and violent. And then how do you deal with it? And do you also become aggressive and violent and then face them, or you take the insult and swallow the insults? But the more important point is that it is something you cannot avoid. Well, I think with a lot of discussion and reflection, I think we came to the point that there are 5 important pain points to go through. And in all this, the safe space, the space where they get counsel, where they get the support, is their own community, their own transgender community in the city. um, which to the extent it supports, and of course there are NGOs behind the community which also bring a lot of support activities, whether it is livelihood and there is a youth drag unit and there is a clinic run in Suraram, and then there are various other initiatives done by different NGOs. And one of the initiatives is that what we are doing, basic income and welfare. These are the layers of the safe spaces that they experience in their world. So we were supposed to go through all the five, but the discussion was so intense. I think the whole thing went about on and on and on about the complex relationship they have with their families. Yeah, but in all that, then I said, yeah, these are all experiences about complexity, pain related to family relationships with the family, with the biological natal family. But then let's have some insights from all of you about how do you manage it and what are the best practices, what are the ways in which you deal with it, because this seems to be universal, and this is every transgender person goes through this. So how do you manage it? So as I try to facilitate a discussion about management part and how to manage and what are the best practices, and the whole thing exploded into everyone sharing their experience, their journey, and the way they have individually managed this whole process. And there are many young people. In fact, out of 11 people who attended, I think 10 people are between 23 and 32. Me too is the oldest. The Sahasra is nearly 40. So she and Mira Jasmine are probably the oldest, around 40, but bulk of them are between 23 and 32. So older people like me too and Ruth almost comes closer to the senior, 29 she is. So what turns out, I will just share the final flat. The main issue that came up is that we have no choice to be weak and feel like a victim, because the more you feel like a victim, the more you will be crushed both by the family and by the, you have to be strong, you have to earn your money, and you should be in a position to give money or support to the family rather than expect them. And you have to be transparent with the family, and you have to assert yourself with the family. Those who are hesitating to share with the family, I think you have to tell and start your journey with the community and all the complexities with the family that we have in a society. So it was a very deep going discussion, and then we will not go beyond that. But we ended the whole thing with some drawings that we did, and given that whole atmosphere of positivity that me too groups brought about why we have no choice, but we have to be strong because we are born like this. We are meant to be strong. We can't afford to be weak in any circumstances. So here actually we thought we should, why don't we actually think of a t-shirt called "We are born to be strong." Okay, I stopped there, and I have some very nice artwork that we have done in the last session. Maybe one or two I will actually take a picture and share with you. Friends, that was it, and it was a very, very good beginning. They have given some suggestions about how we can bring in some people, experts who can give also counseling about mental well-being, psychological well-being, emotional well-being, some techniques that we would like to learn. Um, so that's it. We ended with that, and we saw that beautiful picture that we took. I'm tired, but I thought I'd finish this because tomorrow I have many things and I will forget. And experience is fresh. I thought I will share with you. Thank you for this great opportunity that all of you together have given me, and I'm really, really happy working on this, and I'm happy doing this third workshop. Doing the third workshop, we have a 9 more. And let's see how we travel, seeing this as a journey. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.